Greetings, dungeon masters, game masters, narrators, storytellers. If you run a tabletop role-playing game of any kind, I have something for you. So this could be half an hour before your game starts, or your game could be starting in 2 weeks or even a month, and you find yourself feeling nervous. You find yourself worrying or feeling a sense of anxiety. I hope everything goes well. I hope everyone enjoys it. I hope I've thought of everything. I hope I've planned everything. What if they don't like it? What if they go in this direction and I wanted them to go in this direction? This can start to pick up steam, and it can start to pick up a very negative energy and can be very unpleasant for a dungeon master and a game master. And you do not deserve this anxiety and this worry, because you've put a lot of thought into this, you've put a lot of energy and a lot of emotion into your game, and it should be an enjoyable game. It should be a hobby that is fun for you and a source of joy. So this happens because, well, firstly, if you are anxious and worried about your game, this is actually a very good sign. It means that you care about your game, and it means that you care about your players. You want them to have fun. You want them to enjoy it. And you have enjoyed creating this world, and you have had lots of insights and imaginations and stories that have been going on in your mind, and you would like other people to experience this same joy that you have. But our mind is always whirring away. And what makes Dungeons & Dragons and any tabletop role-playing game so engaging and so fun is the fact that an infinite number of things are possible. Infinite number of things. Anything really could happen. Because it's like this in the everyday world. When you start to add fantasy elements into things too, we really are in a place where an infinite number of things can happen. Now we know that we can't deal with an infinite number of things using our logical mind, using our interpretive mind, the neocortex. We know that we can't do that. But it doesn't stop the mind from trying. And you'll find yourself, just when you have a moment to yourself, your brain starts going and starts saying, well, what if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? What if they go down this road? What if they go down this road? What if they do this? What if they do that? What if? All of these what ifs. And this has you panicking and going straight into your books and everything to try and, oh yeah, what if they come across this rule and I don't know that rule? So we go straight into those books. And this can leave us feeling anxious and stressed, and even with almost a sense of resentment, which is a very negative place to be. And because we're so stressed, then sometimes when people finally actually do get to sit around the table, we're so anxious and worried that everyone's going to enjoy the game, we start trying to force things, and we start trying to push things in a certain direction. I have been completely guilty of this. I've done this many times. And I found that bringing presence and meditative practice into this results in a far more enjoyable, a far more relaxed, and a far more fun game, because I'm not sat here like, come on, you're going the wrong way, why are you doing that? And instead I can be open to everything that goes on at the game table, and I can, okay, so they're doing this, and you can handle it a lot better because you're in a much more open, relaxed and creative place. Now you're probably a very creative person as a dungeon master and as a game master. You're probably somebody who has a huge amount of inspiration, a huge amount of insight and creativity and emotion and all of these things tied in. And on the other hand, you're also probably the sort of person who has a good head for numbers and rules and logic. So we have to hold two very, very powerful spheres of our intelligence and of our thought and our consciousness, the creative side of things as well as logic and numbers and analysis and interpretation, no wonder we find ourselves feeling a little stressed, and no wonder we find ourselves feeling a little anxious. Tied into all of that, we also have the social, which can cause an enormous amount of stress and aggravation, because not only are you dealing with the game world, the creative and emotional, the logic and the numbers, you're probably also the person who's trying to organise the damn thing, and people are texting saying, oh, they might be late on Saturday, or, you know, is it okay if they bring some last minute, is it okay if I bring somebody, or, oh, sorry, I'm not going to be able to make it today. And we've also got this social thing going on, and so now you're dealing with a huge amount of things. And if we have it in our mind that things have to go a certain way, when anything comes in that starts to look like it's going to threaten that, we feel an enormous amount of stress and really psychological pain. So we're going to go into a 15-minute meditation, and you can do this right before a game, or you could do it weeks before a game, anytime that you're becoming aware that your mind is becoming a little stressed, a little frantic, or you're feeling negative emotions towards the game. We can just bring ourselves into a place of presence to just drop all of that away for a moment, just for a short while. Give yourself a little respite, and then you can come back into it feeling a lot more refreshed, a lot more open, and a lot more able to simply enjoy the game as it is, whatever unfolds, because the game itself is fun. The game itself is fun, and regardless of how it goes, they will enjoy it. So, let us go into the meditation now. You can already begin by just bringing yourself into a more present place, and for the next 15 minutes or so, if you can find a space you won't be disturbed, that would be ideal, although life is life and sometimes we are disturbed, so it doesn't really matter, but trying to find yourself in a place where you feel you most likely won't be disturbed. Going into the meditation. Finding yourself in a place where we feel we most likely won't be disturbed. Now there may be some noise, it could be road noise, sounds around the house. This is fine, this is no problem. Taking any seated or laying position that you feel is most comfortable and most appropriate. And begin by simply connecting with the breath. Simply becoming aware of the breath as it rises, crests, and falls away. There is no need to force your breath. Simply observe. You will notice, as you become more aware of your breath, the breath will naturally deepen itself. As it rises, peaks, and falls away, vanishing. Open your awareness to all of the sounds around you. Even if it seems there is no sound, really listen and see if it's possible to just listen without any attachment or image or label or judgment. Simply focus attention on whichever sounds arise for you. See if you can hold your attention on the sounds around as they arise, at the same time as holding attention on the breath as it rises, peaks, and falls away naturally. Notice here where your mind is trying to go. If you are nervous and anxious about your game, your mind will keep trying to pull you back into imagination and thoughts and potentials. Just for this time now, let us leave all of those things outside. They will all be waiting for you. Everything that you have created, all of your ideas, all of your stories, all of the characters, all of the monsters, all of the dungeons, all of the environments, the entire world that you have created in your mind will still be waiting for you when we are done. But just for now, let us take a short break from all of this by leaving all of that at the door. No imagination, no stories, no characters, no monsters, no data. None of this is allowed in here. Leaving all of that at the door, step in, connecting with the breath as the breath rises, crests, and falls away. Paying attention to simply what is here now, in this moment. Not the next moment. It never arrives. By the time the next moment arrives, it will still be the present. So connecting with what is here now, by anchoring attention to the breath as it rises, crests, and falls away. An open awareness to the sounds around you. Do not hold on to any sound. Do not hold on to any thought or image that arises. And many things will come. Many thoughts, many images, many emotions, many distractions will come. But just for this time now, show this compassion to yourself by grounding in this present moment alone. Keeping attention on the breath as it rises, crests, and falls away, and allowing all sounds around you to arise and fall away. Noticing that thought and feeling is very much like the sounds around us. They come in to our perception and then they fall away. They arise in our awareness and then they fall away. Notice that by not holding on or attaching to any sound, any thought, any feeling, we allow ourselves a little peace, a little space, and a little distance. When the mind wanders, which it will do from time to time, do not become frustrated by this. Simply return attention back to the breath. breath is always available to you. Simply by becoming aware of the breath, the sensations of the breath, as it arises, filling the body, as it peaks, and then falls away, vanishing. Being creative and imaginative and social, many thoughts, images and feelings will arise. Just for this time, simply let them all go. No need to get involved right now. You have planned enough. You have imagined enough. You have created enough. Your game will be full of joy and laughter and imagination, and a beautiful story will emerge. You do not need to force any of these things. Remain open to these things. Remain present. Holding no judgment or attachment. A sense of allowing your game to flow. You are a natural storyteller. You are a natural game master. Allow these talents to flow through you with a relaxed confidence. Knowing deeply that the game itself is fun. It is not the case that something needs to happen in order for your game to be fun. The game itself is fun. So whenever you find your thoughts getting a little frantic, a little stressed, or a little worried, you always have the option to bring your attention back to the breath, to the present moment. Taking note of what is truly here in front of you. As thoughts continue to try and pull your attention away from this meditation, just for this time, bring them back to the breath, to the sounds around you, to an impartial observing of your thoughts, of your feelings, of your emotions. Allow them to come into awareness, but just for now, do not get involved. Not everything needs to be controlled. Not everything needs to be analysed or figured out. Thoughts and feelings arise of their own accord. Let them drift on by. Knowing that creating this sense of presence within yourself will result in a more immersive, in a more creative in a more enjoyable game with no stress. It is just play. Breaking the feeling of judgment upon yourself. Your players will deeply respect and acknowledge all of your work, all of your creativity, all of your imagination. This is self-evident in the game itself. As we begin to bring ourselves out of this meditation, simply remain here, drawing deep breath now, allowing the breath in, peaking and falling away, allowing any nervousness, any worry or apprehension to transmute into a peaceful excitement, into a serene joy. In this place of presence, you can truly enjoy this game, this story. Keeping attention on the breath, the sounds around you, and practicing non-attached thought. Taking 5 deeper breaths now. There is no need to force and no need to rush. Simply allow the breath to deeply flow in and to fall away naturally. When those 5 breaths are complete, you can choose to reopen your eyes, choose to bring yourself back into your creative space. If you choose to go now and continue to work on the game and finalise some details, you can do so in a more peaceful place, knowing that things don't have to go a certain way. Simply stay present and please enjoy your game. Namaste.